What's going on out there? To everybody out there, this is Monkey Man doing another review for you, and this one is for the Optimus G Pro. So, first of all, before I start, if you guys notice, I got the little stand here going on with my Garfield books, trying to make it more stable and stuff like that. I'm actually using my Galaxy Note 8.0 right now to record this video. So if you notice this, please just be nice about the comments, trying to make my video a little bit more stable and not moving around. So let's jump into this review of the Optimus G Pro. So the Optimus G Pro came out about 2 months ago. I've had it for about a month and a half. I only used it for about 3 weeks, because then I got the GS4 and I was getting used to that. So let's go through some specification of this phone. So this phone, of course, has the 5.5-inch screen in here, HD screen, 1920 by 1080 pixels, 5.5 inches, which is about 400 ppi, 401 ppi density. Type of screen is a true full HD IPS Plus LCD screen. No clue what that means, but I guess it's a really nice screen. This is a 32 gigabyte internal storage. Also has micro SD card slot to expand the storage to up to 64 gigabytes. The chipset inside is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 600, clocked at 1.7 gigahertz. It's got a Adreno 320 GPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 13 megapixel camera in the back with LED flash. Also has, I think it's a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera, which is able to record 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. So very nicely spec'd. Let's talk about the dimensions of this phone, the size of this phone, I should say. So from here to here, it's 150.2 across, it's 70.1, and it is 9.4 millimeters thick, and it weighs in at 172 grams. So let's take a look at what this phone looks like. So as you can notice, it's dominated by this humongous screen. Monkeys like that. So you have the earpiece here with nice little silver, kind of silverish thing, earpiece here. The front-facing cameras here, sensors are up here. Of course, the big screen, LG branding. This is actually the home button, which actually doubles as a notification button, and I will show you. It's really cool. It lights up in different colors. When you turn it on, the back button's here and the menu button's here. And I'm going to say this is just strange for me sometimes. You always get mixed up a lot and so forth like this. So on the top of the phone, it's got, of course, your headphone jack, IR blaster to control your TV, DVD, and so forth. Noise cancellation mic. Over here, it's got the antenna, because Korean people love watching TV. And it's kind of cool because it reminds us of the old phone. It actually goes a lot longer, so it is like a full-blown out antenna. Kind of like the old cell phones that you have the antenna. Over here is the power button. Very nicely put. It's a little bit indented out. Nothing else over here except you have a little indentation so you can take out the back. I'll show you that in a second. On here you got a USB port, your microphone, nothing else. And on the other side you got the volume rocker here. It's just one piece. It's a little indented out. And you got the Q button here. Q button, I will tell you more about this later, so we'll get back to that. On the back, you have the 13 megapixel camera, LED flash. There's a speaker hole right there. Speaker is average, not that great, not that bad, but actually for the size of the speaker hole, it pumps up pretty good volume. LG branding. If you notice, I'm not sure if you can tell, but as you notice, they got that mystical box shaped going on. Where it kind of like it looks like it's moving or something like that from the original Optimus G. So let's take a look at the back. And like I said, this is a removable back. It's made of plastic. One thing I must say about the back, even though it's plastic, it's very sturdy. It's much thicker than the GS4 back and so forth like this. So it definitely gives it a more premium feel and the way it looks. Kind of a fingerprint magnet, but not too bad. Inside, as you can see, you have 3,140 milliamp battery, humongous battery. By the way, as we're in Korea, all phones come with extra spare battery, so there's a spare battery for you. It's really thin, but it's humongously big. It's almost as big as some smartphones. It's like having an iPhone in your hand. Just kidding. And of course, here's this charger. I wanted to show you the charger because it actually doubles as a stand. Nothing really special about the charger, but it's kind of cool. It's like a toaster. And I'll show you why it's like a toaster. So you take the battery and you push it in there and you push it down to lock the battery in. You know, you plug in your USB cable to charge it. There's a light there that lights up. And when it's done, you pop it up just like toast. Nice toaster charger. Alright? Boop. So very cool. Wanted to show you that. Also here you get the SIM card slot and of course your micro SD card slot, which is good because you can hot swap it without actually having to shut the phone down. So let's put the back in place. Oh, when the back's in place, it's really nice. This gray metallic trim finish really gives it a look of premium feel, and it feels really great in the hand. It's, like I said, it's a pretty big phone. It's pretty heavy, but for the size of the screen, you know, it's really fantastic. So definitely worth the trade-off. You can use it one-handed, you know, but you're not going to be able to reach. You know, I got probably normal to maybe big hands, and you definitely can't reach it. It's definitely a two-handed operational phone, thing like that. As you notice, the first thing is the lock screen. The lock screen has really cool animation. You can change this, it's kind of like this, and it shows underneath, so which is really cool. And of course, and also the lock screen, you have shortcut buttons there going on. Of course, this is LTE capable. This LTE capable phone. So this is the LG's Home. I don't know actually what LG's Home is called. I have to look that up. I'll put it in the link somewhere below. But it runs really well. It's smooth. A lot of different customizations. You can customize the transitional effects. So for instance, this one is called the carousel, which actually looks like a carousel. You know, it's like it's stuck on a pole and just moves around the carousel. You can change all that by going into the menu, home screen. See, so swipe effect. They have basic, breeze. See, and actually it's pretty cool because it shows you the animation right here. So breeze, accordion, panorama, carousel, which I have it on, layer, which is layer is kind of like the card stack, or you know, the original domino, and that's it. So I like the carousel, personally my favorite, so I'm gonna keep it. Whoops, I'm gonna keep it on the carousel, panorama, carousel. So lots of different implementations. You can also do different themes for the phone, so it changes also the icon buttons. So for instance, it has an Optimus one right now. You can change the business theme, which as you can see, it changes the icons, not download icons, but you know, the system icons like alarm clock and stuff like that. They have cozy wall, which is kind of like a cutesy one, and a marshmallow one, which is crazy cutesy one. And you can download more from the LG shop, but I just chose the Optimus. Actually, I don't use the theme launcher. I usually, you know, I use Nova launcher because it's just the best one, in my opinion. Lots of customization and stuff like that. So, like I said, I've been using this phone, and it's a great phone. The battery life is great. The screen is awesome to watch movies, play games on. What else do I want to show? This is the app drawer here. The app drawer is pretty standard fare. You got different tabs, you know, for all your apps. You got the downloaded apps, and you also have your widgets apps to add on a widget. You can. One thing that's good about this is you can hide certain apps. So, for instance, if you get carrier bloatware you don't use, you don't want to root your phone, you can hide the apps, and then you know they won't show up in your app drawer, although they'll still be in your system. So that's pretty cool that way too. one thing I told you, my favorite part about this phone is the lock screen. Lock screen is very customizable as always. So for instance, you can customize the different clocks and shortcuts. So you can have the big clock, the small digital clock. You can have like a, actually like a wristwatch clock. You can have the calendar, a bigger calendar, and then you can also have the weather. You can also change the shortcuts that show. For instance, if you don't want alarm clock, you just hit the button, you pick one. So maybe you want Chrome, and then you just save it, and it automatically goes onto the lock screen. See? And if you want to just open a shortcut, you just go here and you just open it like that. Another thing I like about the lock screen is the animation, so the screen effect. So for instance, when you first buy the phone, it'll be stuck on Dewdrop. Dewdrop, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a rip-off of Samsung Galaxy, the Nature UI, the ripple, pebble type of thing like that. And I'll show you what it means. One thing I do like about it is when you change the effects, it also changes the sound. So for instance, there you go, here's Dewdrop. See, it's kind of like a dewdrop. Very cool. What's really cool is when you do it, it shows like a preview what's underneath the skin like that. So, and dewdrops is spreading ink, which changes the sound also, which is exactly what it is, like paper spreading ink. And you have white hole. It would be funny if they had one that said asshole, right? And they just don't turn on the phone. Just kidding. So white hole is like this. It's kind of like instead of a black hole, it's a white hole. There you go. And my favorite is the hula hoop. The sound is awesome. Oops. I don't know what happened there. I must press the button. So, there you go. And it's got like the rainbow thing going. Like this. Woo! There you go. By the way, not that I like rainbows, no homo, but that's my favorite thing. You can always show your owner info on the front. Another thing I like about this is the notification toggle. I actually really like the fuchsia blue or baby blue that they got going on. Everything matches really well. Of course, on top here you have your toggles. And what's great about this is if you go all the way over and you have an edit button, and you press the edit button, and you can change the location, or you can change the place of your toggle. So for instance, if you wanted Bluetooth in the beginning, you can just go like this, or you can put it down and so forth like this. And if you wanted to add more, you could add more. There are many ones. Miracast, Q Voice, Power Saver, NFC, Q Memo, Q Airplane Mode, Portable Wi-Fi, Hotspot, Account Sync, and so forth. You can put all of them, or you can put none of them. So depending on what you want. So it's as easy as just if you wanted to add these on, you just check them over, and they all show up. See? And if you wanted to make yours toggle notification bar shorter, you can just take out the ones you don't use, like I do. So you have here, and then it makes it much shorter and much easier. So very slick the way they did it. Definitely give them props for that. Underneath, as you can see, is another bar which is called the Q Slide. Q Slide is basically LG's take on multi-window. Q Slide works differently than multi-window though. So as you can see, for instance, we'll jump into the internet Q Slide. So what it does is, instead of having two windows, it actually has like this little pop-up window that pops up. As of course, you can change the size of it. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it transparent, more transparent. Many things you can do with it. Oops, sorry. I would say that maybe one thing that this is actually better than the multi-window is the fact that you can use this on all parts of your phone. You can use this in App Drawer. You can use this in Google Chrome. You can use this while playing a YouTube video and so forth like this. So you can use this pretty much anywhere that you want to use this in, which is really great. Of course, there's only 7 apps that you can actually use this for. Videos, calendar, internet, memo, calculator, DMB, Q Voice. But it's maybe even more useful than Samsung's because Samsung is multi-window is, of course, two different apps going at the same time. But this is actually better because I think it's better because you can use this one app, like for instance Google Chrome, and you can go into pretty much any app and it'll stay there. You can go into your messaging app and it'll stay there. You can go into your phone app, it will stay there. You can go into your drawer, it will stay there. So many ways that you can use it. So even though that there aren't that many apps that support this, there's only 7. The fact that you can use this with the rest of your phone without having, with other apps, I think gives it more possibility than the multi-app. So definitely give them props. Definitely give LG props for that. I don't use it actually that much because I'm never that busy where I need to do 2 things at once. But I guess that would be good. What else do I want to talk about this phone? So, like I said, real world usage, this phone is awesome. Battery life is fantastic and so forth like that. It doesn't run out of juice. Very huge battery, and it works very well. So, the only thing I don't like about the LG phone is the fact of their folders. Yes, see this folder? It looks like gingerbread folder. What's up with that? You change it up. Samsung's got that cool floating disc. Android has got like that little black bubble that pops up, but this is like gingerbread folder. I mean, you can change the color, but even the colors, scheme is very strange. It's all like pastel-y color or something like that. So that is probably my biggest qualm about LG's home launcher, UI, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so. Other than that, this phone looks awesome. It's a great looking phone. I love the side bezels on it. It gives it a touch of class, gives it a touch of premium feel. It's very sturdy in the hand. The screen is very great. And it also, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like has like this, I don't know, like shiny, like brushed glass or something like that. It gives it a really good look. The thing I don't like about this, one thing is that the screen is totally up front. It's actually pushed up, as you can see a little bit. So if you put it down, face down, it's definitely all on screen. But it is protected by Gorilla Glass too, and I'm pretty sure that if you get the phone, you will get a film cover. So and there's also many cases that you can get to protect your phone. So overall, the phone looks great though. It's definitely a good looking phone, and the notification here is awesome. I'll actually show you. This notification changes colors depending on different things that come, different notification that comes up. So for instance, if you were to get a Facebook post, the notification would actually turn blue. If you would get to Dropbox, it would turn white. If you get a Kakao message, it would turn yellow. Actually, I'm going to send myself a Kakao message to show you how this works, okay? So I'm going to shut the phone off. Just bear with me 1 second as I send myself a message in Kakao Talk. Now, Kakao Talk is, Kakao Talk is the most popular messaging app in Korea. I will actually show you really quickly. If you notice, Kakao Talk, it's yellow. The app color is yellow. So when you get a notification from the app, hold on a second, I will send the message. It actually comes up as yellow. So we're going to close that. And then when you shut it off, see? Notification comes up as the color of the app, which is really cool. See, yellow brings the same thing like Facebook. When Facebook thing pops up, it goes to yellow also. And so that's a really cool thing that I thought about that LG did with the notification light built into the home screen. Another thing I really like about is the messaging, is how they receive messages. Now I will show you. I'll send you a message from my Galaxy S4 to this phone. So most messaging, when you get a notification, you have to actually, shows the message and you actually have to, jump in to respond. But this one is totally different. This one, you can respond without actually having to leave. So for instance, if you were on Google Chrome, okay, so say you were on Google and you get a message. You get a message this is what happens. Message. So the message pops up there in like a little thing here. You know, you see the message, and then you can, without actually having to leave, you just tap it, and you can reply right from here. You know, without leaving anything. So you just reply, you just send it back, and you're finished. You know, I thought that was really, really, really awesome. You know, the way that LG, you know, implemented that. You know, because really, that is something that's, you know, you're reading something, you get a message, you want to reply really quickly, and it just pops up like that. So definitely another props up for LG for doing that. That's definitely awesome stuff right there. All right, enough of that. Let's clear all, and let's run into some basic tests. So first test we're going to run into is Quadrant Standard. I ran Quadrant Standard before. It's about 11,000, so very good score, you know, nothing to sneeze at. The Snapdragon 600 clocked at 1.7 does its job. The GPU Adreno 320 does its job, so definitely handles games fine. You know, you can play Dead Trigger, you can play, you know, Cookie Run, you can play all that, and it runs with no hiccups. I'm not really a picture guy, but some test pictures I've taken were really nice during the day. Nighttime, you know, it struggles with darkness and stuff like that, but, you know, what do you expect from a camera? It's not, you know, going to win. Actually, excuse me, the video recording is fantastic. I actually recorded my review of the Samsung Galaxy S4 on that phone. Alright, so Quadrant is done. Let's check out Quadrant, and let's check out the score. So at Quadrant run, actually a little bit higher. So 12,181, which is a beast. But like I said, don't take too much stock in it. It's fun to look at, you know, but it's not end all, be all, tell all. Let's shut down Quadrant. Let's jump into Antutu and see how it scores in Antutu. So as you can see before, I ran the test. It ran 18,937. So we'll test it again. And we're going to start the test. Now, I want to take this time while we're waiting for Antutu to finish to thank you guys all, thank you all you fellow monkeys out there for watching my videos, subscribing to my channel, sending comments, you know, positive comments. I've gotten mostly positive comments, gotten, you know, a couple of assholes, you know, want to pick on my non-professional methods of video recording, and stuff like that. But most of them all, I got most positive comments. So definitely heads up to that. Appreciate the monkey love from all you guys. Sorry I haven't been making videos. Been really busy with other things, and obviously phones cost a lot of money these days, and it's hard to keep up with all the phones that come out. You know, it's like you know, the new phone comes out, like 2 weeks later another new phone comes out. You know, so it's crazy, you know, but I'm going to jump back into it. You know, I got a couple of new toys, got a couple of new bananas, you know, that I've been playing around with, and I did a short video on the Samsung Galaxy S4. That phone is an awesome phone, so check out that video. I also did a video on my Galaxy Note 8.0, which is actually my third tablet I've ever owned. So definitely check it out. And stuff like that. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, send me some comments. If you have any questions, if I can help you, I'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible. So just want to take this time and thank you guys all. Oh, by the way, for all your latest news, definitely check out PocketDroid.com. You know, my boys, you know, he made that website. I don't know how he has all the energy to write all the articles and find all the news, but definitely check out PocketDroid.com for all your latest Android news and so forth. So back to this phone. This phone actually is right now Korean. I heard that it's going to come out in America soon. This phone already has root process already. You know, a root achieved. I read a thread somewhere, you know, where they rooted the phone and something like that. There's no ROMs yet. I don't think there's going to be any ROMs until maybe the US version comes out. So, but definitely a great phone. You know, one of the best phones I've ever had, and it's a beast. You know, and you know, I'd definitely be happy with it. A lot of good implementation, especially the messaging. The messaging one is awesome, right? How cool is that? You can be watching a video and just finish messaging somebody really quickly and never have to leave. I wish, you know, Samsung, I wish HTC, I wish everybody would implement that into their phones. Maybe HTC does, you know. Sad news, HTC does not sell their phones in Korea anymore. They just wasn't making any money and they left, and I was so sad when they left, you know. I was a big HTC fan, you know. I had the HTC Desire, HTC Desire HD, I had the Sensation, you know, so very sad. Couldn't get my hands on HTC one. Alright, so as you see, it's finished. It scored a 19,276, which is very respectable. Let's check out the chart score and see how it fares against the other phones. So as you can see, Google Nexus 4, of course, is about the same. You know, it's made by the same LG, has the same chipset and so forth. Sony Xperia Z is a little bit higher, and of course the Samsung Galaxy S4 with, and I'm pretty sure this one is with the Snapdragon 600 clocked at 1.6. Oh no, this one is actually the Exynos one. Okay, cool, very good, very nice. So, like I said, scores very well, and my general feeling of this phone is that you're going to be very happy with it if you get it in America. It's definitely like a Galaxy Note, you know, look-alike phone like that, but in a lot of ways it's much better. You know, it's got a great CPU, got a great GPU. The screen is high, you know, full HD. The screen is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. You know, movies, text, games, everything looks awesome, and the color reproduction is really great. Not as saturated, not as bright and vivid, I would say, than the the S4 screen, but definitely awesome in its own way. More natural colors. You don't see any type of pixelation. So great phone all around, and the design of the phone is really nice too. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's really like a nice solid block of technology. I'm pretty sure it's not. You know, I've never had my hands on the HTC One, but you know, it's really a great solid phone. And this little brushed, you know, glass, you know, on top of the screen gives it a really nice, distinctive look. And the notification button is just awesome. You know, it's implemented in your home button. So, great things about this phone. So, wrap up. Love the way the phone, love the screen, love the notification button. Love the Q button also. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about the Q button. Glad I did the wrap up. The Q button here is just another button. So basically what you do is you go to the system settings, you go all the way down, and you hear the Q button section here. So the Q button is basically a shortcut button for whatever you want. They have the recommended ones. When you first get it, I think the Q button is actually the Q memo. But you can put this for anything, you know. So for instance, camera, music, internet, and then what's even great is you can map that button to any app that you have downloaded. So for instance, if you wanted to map that to Chrome, you know, and you just wherever you are, you know, you can just jump right into. So for instance, if you're in the app drawer and you want to get into Chrome, you just hit the Q button and it goes right into Chrome. And it's a really great way to, you know, it's just like a hot button. It's for the app that you use the most, a physical hot button that you need, you know. And like I said, it's great that you can implement it for any app on your phone. So another kudos to LG for, you know, thinking that up. And also what's great about it is that you can use it as a physical camera, dedicated camera button. So for instance, we'll take a picture of my monkey paw print. You just press the button in there. And that's awesome too, but you know, to be honest with you, you can use the volume rocker button to take pictures. So it's kind of like you have two physical buttons, so you got to be a little bit careful. But you know, another good implementation by LG. So that's definitely another plus in the favor of this phone. Battery life is fantastic. I use this phone. You know, when I was using this phone, you know, I used it to play games. You know, I had the, you know, screen brightness, you know, very high all the time. checking my messages, Facebook, all that good stuff, and always got home about 20%, 25, depending on usage and stuff like that. I carry the spare battery with me, but I've never had a time where actually I had to change it, so forth like that. So with normal usage, I would definitely say normal usage being what normal people use it for, sending some messages, checking the web a little bit. Maybe you could last a day and a half. Definitely. Even power users, I would say you would get a good solid 8, 9, 10 hours of usage, good solid usage, which means a lot of gaming, a lot of web browsing, video playing, and so forth like that. I didn't actually do a video loop test, so I don't know, but I've read somewhere that it got around about I think maybe 6, 7 hours or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. So a lot of goods about this phone. The only thing I would say negative about this phone is the positive and also negative is the size. It's really a big phone. It's not, even though they made it a little bit smaller than the Galaxy Note 2 by making really thin bezels. By the way, I want you to notice how thin the bezels are. The bezels are really, really thin. So even though they made it a little bit thinner, not as wide as the Galaxy Note, it's still definitely a two-handed phone. You can use it one hand, no doubt about it, but you're definitely not going to reach all the screen unless you have go-go gadget fingers. Who remembers that? Go-go gadget fingers. Nice. So, many good things I like about this phone. Definitely notification is awesome. The notification light built into the home is awesome. The messaging thing is just, whoa, that is just pimp. And the phone looks great. So, on a scale of 1 to 10 in my banana report, this monkey, I'm going to have to give it a solid 8.5, almost 9. The reason I gave it a little bit lower is because even though it came out, I wish they would have had Jelly Bean 4.2.2 on it. And even now, after it's been out about 2 months, it's still stuck on 4.1.2. So hopefully they implemented, hopefully they push out that the upgrade soon. And maybe, if they had the upgrade, it would definitely be a solid 9, maybe close. Definitely one of my favorite phones. GS4 I still think is a better phone, because of the size, the form factor, and the better CPU. But this phone is an awesome phone too. So it should be. It might actually be available in America already. I know in Japan they had the 5-inch version of this bad boy. Definitely, if you have a chance to check this phone out, I would definitely go out and check it out. I think, in my opinion, it's much better than the Galaxy Note 2. Better screen. They don't have an S Pen thing, but unless you're an avid S Pen user, I think this phone would be a better phone than the Galaxy Note 2. So, thanks again for watching my video on the Optimus G Pro. Hit the like button if you like what I do. Send me any comments, questions to my channel, and subscribe if you like. Peace out, monkeys, and be good to each other, and be happy.